So let's finish what we started. Here's the backyard. Here's the house. We got the ivy patch back here. That is going to be a headache to remove. So we got an old satellite dish here that I'm going to remove as well. Some more materials, some cement blocks and stuff that I want to get rid of. We got even more cement blocks right there. Moving right along. Here's some more ivy. All that's going to be get rid of. Here's some more backyard, and here are the big trees that I think we stopped at once my computer ran out of batteries. But this is the big cedar. It probably stands about 70 feet or so. I'm going to back up a little here. Over here, you'll see the other big Douglas fir. I think it's a Douglas fir, something like that. But one of my projects back here was to actually raise up all these branches that were sweeping down here and actually hitting the lawn, so it made it real hard to mow and kind of made it really unclean looking. So I gave what I call the trees a haircut, which yeah, like I said, you can kind of see here where I lifted up a lot of the branches, and you can actually get under here now. There's some of the brush that I removed. Here's that compost bin that I was talking about, and you can see right around here there's a lot of branches that I cut to actually be able to get access, so you can get in here. And you can see there's the big trunk of this cedar, but he's a tall boy. But as you go around here, it makes for a really nice cover. Here's some of the stuff I put in there, some cilantro and some of this, all this vegetation we got from the fruit and veggie box that Steph got. She gets it every week, every Thursday. And moving right along here. Some more backyard. This is the Douglas fir. Another big boy, probably another 70, 80 feet, something like that. But you go back under here, there's some more branches that I got rid of, and I get to get rid of that lovely mess. That stands about 4 or 5 foot tall with the branches. But we got some more trees here. Very lovely, and what I discovered back here was a giant steel drum, 55-gallon drum here. So I gotta get rid of that somehow. And what's kind of cool is we got a bunch of these terracotta cylinders. I don't know what to do with them, but we'll figure something out. But we got a whole stack of them here. So again, I gotta put on my thinking cap and get creative with these guys. But a ton of them over here. So moving right along in the backyard, we got a little bamboo forest here, and I think you've heard that bamboo grows like weeds. Well, this is what it looks like when it starts taking over. There's little bamboo stalks here. You can see they start out kind of like this, actually. Let me see if I can find one. They start off kind of like this, and then they grow to that within no time. It's insane how fast they grow. You see one right here, and they're starting to take over right over here. So that's what they look like when they start to grow, and they grow tall and they grow fast. So I don't know what to do about these guys, but here's the sump pump. Here's the little pit that I dug for it. Gonna fill that full of pea gravel, let that drain. So during the winter time, this thing will not stop, and I'm kind of worried. So moving right along back here. This is the deck, well, one of the decks. I think this is gonna go up soon. This is the deck that needs a lot of help. I think there's a lot of rotted boards and stuff, so I want to take this deck out. This leads to the bigger, taller deck, which I want to save. And this guy houses the new Weber, little backyard patio furniture that you probably remember from from coming over to the house. This is back on the back deck, but we're gonna get rid of that stuff. So this is the whole back of the house. There's our new satellite dish that actually works. And moving right along over to the back door that leads to the garage. And here it is. This is the garage. A lot of space, big 2-car garage. So here's a workbench, which I haven't got any pegboard to put up on my tools, so you get to see this mess. There's a lovely gift that came with the house, edger, power edger. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I don't even know if it works. I haven't tried it, but big trash can full of tools. This is kind of neat that they built this big cubby hole big cubby storage, so you get to take advantage of that. We got this nice steel closet thing. I don't even know what to do with this. Probably refinish it or something, but I don't know. More storage. Don't want to get rid of that. Here's some lovely extra woods and scraps that came out from underneath these stairs. Ton of scrap wood. But yeah, just a bunch of boards, probably about 1.5, 2 foot long to maybe 3-4 foot long, and we had a ton of stuff. So I really don't know what to do with this. But again, we got a lot of materials, so I gotta get creative with it. There's shelving. There's a couple windows here in the garage. Looking up here, taking advantage of some of the shelving that's already been up here, so that's kind of nice. But another window here. Here's where I'm hanging my tools, and as you can see, the floor space, ton of floor space. There's my 4Runner. There's my lawnmower. That's what I got from John. Here are my bikes. Here's where I'm hanging them out. The one in the middle is Steph's bike, her road bike. This one on my right is my mountain bike. Furnace, gas heater. We got our trash cans here, and this is where all that wood I was talking about was stored up underneath here. So got up all that stuff. And moving right along, we got this holly bush out here on the side of our house I want to get rid of. That's going to be another project, which I'm not looking forward to. But it keeps my car shaded, which is pretty nice. So this is facing west. As you can see, the sun's about to set. Over here is the lake. Actually, if you go over to where that green trash can is, down that hill a little bit's where the lake is. So we're like a house down from that. Here's a little flower bed I de-weeded, and this was bare when we first moved in, but it's been overgrown since with all these plants, which I have no clue, because these things are like bamboo. They sprout up everywhere, and they sprout up fast. I don't even know what these are. But as I back up here, you see here's the roof. New paint, new trim, all this stuff. We're probably going to redo these lights as well, which leads us out to the rest of the front yard. Old Japanese maple there. Those are supposed to be kind of cool plants. You see them everywhere here in the Northwest, and I think you can actually trim them up like bonsais, but you'll see that a lot out here. Here's a little flower bed thing I need to reweed here. Over here. Some more of the front deck, which I really dig. We got a lot of potential with this front deck. So we got this sanded and stained, which is nice. Here's the front window, leads into our living room. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea of what all this looks like now. Here's the flower bed. Here's the rose bushes that I was talking to you about as well. And what I did here was this whole bed was overgrown by a bunch of sod and weeds and stuff. So I took a shovel and kind of trimmed it up, made it nice and straight over here. So we're probably going to rip out these roses, although they're in full bloom and they look really nice. Towards the winter, they're not going to look so nice. So I think we can do better with these bushes here. So anyway, coming over here, we got some patches of really nasty grass. I'm going to take all this stuff up and probably, as you can see, I planted some more grass, put some fertilizer down, and over here some more of those little bayonet plants. I don't even know what you call them, but they're kind of annoying, so I want to take rid of those. Got another little cedar here, which kind of flows back over to the rat's nest over here. All this ivy that I want to get rid of. So that completes the outside. Now let's go inside.